I've been thinking a lot recently about how my relationship with my parents shaped how I see emotional support and love. And it ain't pretty. Nobody discusses how that shows up in your relationships later. I've touched on my relationship with my dad before, and he was present yet very absent. I didn't have the fairy tale relationship that you have with your dad as a daughter, as a child. And I believe that's why I chased a lot of toxic men and relationships that I should not have been in. But what I'm realizing now more so is the huge role that my mom also played in that. She was my blueprint for emotional support, for love, for intimacy. However, I still feel like something's missing. Now I'm sitting here asking, how do I navigate love if I didn't fully learn it? I experienced uncertainty of love in my childhood. I experienced a lot of neglect, a lot of inconsistency, a lot of emotional coldness. I think that's where I developed my core belief, which was I was unworthy. It meant that I was always the problem, always. And more so that I was not deserving of love. I was definitely overgiving, definitely did that. But I was trying to secure my spot in your life, be it friend, family, and as I got older, boyfriends. Love feels painful due to childhood trauma. The brain equates affection to pain because the people who are supposed to protect you and show you love a lot of times can be the very people who are the source of the suffering. That's very confusing to the brain. You believe that love and pain were the same. Now, when you're involved in a toxic relationship, this is normal. And it's not because you like it, it's because that's what's familiar to you. And guess what? Your brain likes familiar. Therefore, your brain will gravitate to what's familiar. And then that's an endless cycle that you'll be in over and over and over again. You're wondering why you can't leave a situation. It's because you're doing what's familiar. And that's what I did. Why? I was in the midst and brought up in dysfunction. And that dysfunction was confused conditioning. I learned that love came with strings early on. I struggled to identify safety because all I experienced was danger. That was the result of me now chasing men who mistreated me or dealing with people who mistreated me. Now that we have discussed some of my family wounds, let's see how they showed up in my relationships. You watched my X Files. I detailed relationships I had with four of these men, and each and every relationship was toxic in some way, shape, form, or fashion. One guy drugged me, one guy beat me, one guy was a huge narcissist, and the other guy just flat out did not like me. He just went along for the ride. Today, I am no longer dating. I have a fear, a fear of dating. I have avoidance issues. I am super independent. And honestly, I'm just trying to protect my peace. I, I actually, my video last week, you can check that out. I'm talking about reasons why I could very well still be single. Um, However, in the midst of that, the Lord is hiding me. The Lord's protecting me. He's keeping me for whoever this guy is. So I believe I'm being shielded. And even though I have those fears and I'm dealing with those little situations, I'm enjoying my single season. I'm loving who I am becoming, discovering more and more about myself. I am bent on remaining abstinent until the Lord reveals me to my forever. I have to. And there's no relationship more important than the one you have with yourself, besides that with the Lord. But with others, the relationship you have with yourself is the best one that you can have. At the end of the day, I was the red flag. I was a huge red flag. And I was a red flag because of the source, my parents. This isn't about blaming them. This is understanding what happened with me, what shaped me, what made me the way I was. If I've now discovered that the reason I operated the way that I did is because of my parents, is because of the form of love they felt they needed to give me in order to shape me, more than likely, that is exactly what happened with them and their moms and their dads. My grandmother, she she was definitely to me emotionally cold. Definitely. So I don't know, but more than likely, that too is where my mom got it from. So both parents had no choice but to give me what they learned. I don't know. But more so, what I'm leaning more toward is my mom. And I needed to learn from her, the nurturer. But I do believe that just because I didn't learn love from them, that doesn't mean I can't learn it now. But I really wish I could have learned it from my mom. And I think I'm going to have to actually sit right here with my relationship with my mom because there's more that I need to understand.